Assalamu alaikum. Dear students, from today we are going to start the utilization portion in the course of power distribution and utilization. Before the mid-exam, we are going to discuss the distribution part of the course, wherein we have discussed about the distribution system and its types and all the other basic requirements of different bus arrangements. And after this, we have also discussed the basic diagrams related to the distribution system, related to the single line diagram, and all the other relevant things. So from today, we are going to start the distribution portion of our course. And in this context, we are going to start the new chapter, which is related to the electric heating. In the introduction, heat play a very major role in everyday life. All heating requirements in domestic purposes, such as cooking, room heater, immersion water heater, and electric toaster, and also in industrial purposes such as welding, melting of metals, tempering, hardening and drying can be met easily by electric heater over the other forms of conventional heating. Now, what are the conventional form of heatings? It includes the heating from the coal, it includes the heating from the oil, it includes the heating from the natural gas. In comparison to the conventional heating, the electric heating is very useful in all the respects for the domestic as well as for the commercial purposes. Heat and electricity are interchangeable. Heat also can be produced by passing the current through the material to be heated. This is called electric heating. So the definition of electric heating is that we are just going to pass the electric current from some material so that it is heated. There are various methods of heating a material, but electric heating is considered far superior compared to the heat produced by coal, oil, and natural gas. So what are the advantages of electric heating? These are as follows. The first advantage is it is economical. Electric heating equipment is cheaper. They do not require much skilled person. Therefore, maintenance cost is less. It is very easy. Many of you also visit any of the thermal power station wherein a huge uh, arrangement has been made to handle the fuel. The fuel may be coal, it may be oil. If it is coal, then a very large arrangement has to be done. In comparison to all the conventional sources, the electric heating is very economical because there is no further arrangements has to be made. The second one is that the cleanliness. Since dust and ash are completely eliminated in electric heating, it keeps surrounding clean. The next one is the pollution free. As there are no flue gases in electric heating, atmosphere around is pollution free. No need of providing space for their exit. However, in conventional heating, the major component in the flue gas is the sulfur. So it is better to treat the smoke, it is better to treat the flue gases from very hazardous components from the gas. The next one is the ease of control. In this heating, temperature can be controlled and regulated accurately either manually or automatically. The next one is the uniform heating. With electric heating, the substance can be heated uniformly throughout, whether it may be conducting or non-conducting material. So with the help of electric heating, we simply uniformly heat the whole substance as compared to the conventional heating. The next one is the high efficiency. In non-electric heating, only 40 to 60% of heat is utilized, but in electric heating, 75 to 100% of heat can be successfully utilized. So from this percentage, you can easily determine that the efficiency of the electric heating is much more as compared to the conventional heating. So the overall efficiency of electric heating is very high. The next one is the automatic protection. Protection against overcurrent and overheating can be provided by using fast control devices. So the next advantage of the electric heating is that we can automatically protect the equipment, we can automatically protect the personnel from any unavoidable circumstances. The next advantage is that heating of non-conducting materials. The heat developed in the non-conducting materials such as wood and porcelain is possible only through the electric heating. So here we can easily heat such type of components, such type of materials. However, in conventional heating, it is quite impossible to heat the wood and porcelain. It may change the characteristics, it may be burned from the conventional form of heating. However, in electric heating, we can easily heat the wood and porcelain and other such non-conducting materials. The ninth, better working condition. No irritating noise is produced with electric heating, and also radiating losses are very low. The next one is the less floor area. Due to compactness of electric furnace, floor area required is less. The next one is the high temperature. High temperature can be obtained by the electric heating, except the ability of the material to withstand the heat. Okay, and the last one is the safety. The electric heating is quite safe. So on behalf of these advantages, it is better to go for the electric heating as compared to the conventional heating. So how the heat can be transferred? For this, we can say there are three modes of transfer of heat from one body to another. Depends on the temperature gradient. The number one method or mode is the conduction mode of heating. Second one is the convection mode of heating. And the third one is the radiation form of heating. Now, what is the conduction? In conduction, the heat transfer from one part of the substance to another part without the movement in the molecules of substances. Here the molecule is not going to travel from one place to another. There are just the vibrational form of energy in molecule. With vibration, they can transfer energy from one molecule to another, from the second one to the third one, and so on. The rate of conduction of heat along the substance depends upon the temperature gradient. Temperature gradient means that what is the temperature of the molecule number 1 and what is the temperature of the molecule number 2. So from the difference of these temperature, the heat can be transferred from one molecule to another molecule. The amount of heat passed through a cubic body with two parallel faces with thickness T meter, having cross-sectional area of A square meters, and the temperature of its two surfaces T1 and T2 degrees Celsius during T hours is given by this relation, where K is the coefficient of thermal conductivity of the material and it is measured in megajoule per cubic meter per degree Celsius per hour. The examples of the conduction heating are refractory heating, the heating of insulating materials, and so on. So this is the first mode of transfer of heat, which is the conduction one. The second one is the convection heating. Now, what is the difference between the conduction heating and the convection heating? It is that in convection heating, the heat transfer takes place from one part to another part of substance or fluid due to actual motion of the molecule. Here, the molecules itself are going to travel from one part to another part, from one place to another place. However, in conduction heating, the molecule are not going to move from one part to another. They are just going to vibrate and transfer their energy to the other one. So in all types of fluids, there is a convection form of heating. The rate of conduction of heat depends mainly on the difference in the fluid density at different temperatures. Okay. In the conduction heating, there is the temperature gradient. However, in convection heating, there is a fluid density, that every molecule which gets heated up, it moves away from the heated portion to the colder portion. So there is a temperature difference, there is a fluid density difference. So the heated particle transfer its energy to the colder molecule. In this way, the energy can be transferred from one place to another place. The example of the convection heating is that immersion water heater. How the water is heated in an electric kettle, in an electric geyser, or any other material. The amount of heat absorbed by water from heater through convection depends mainly upon the temperature of heating element and also depends partly on the position of the heater. So in convection heating, the position of the heating element, it may be the metal, play a very major role. The heat dissipation is given by the following expression: H, which is equal to A, in brackets we can write T1 minus T2 raised to power B watt per meter square. Now what are A and B? A and B are the constants whose values are depend upon the heating surface, and T1 and T2 are the temperature of heating element and fluid in degrees Celsius respectively. So this is the convection mode of heat transfer. The next one is the radiation form of heating. In this mode, the heat transfer from source to the substance to be heated without heating the medium in between. It is dependent on surface. The very common example of radiation heating is the heating from the sun. The energy is transferred from the sun to the earth without heating the media, without heating the atmosphere. So the radiation form of heating is that the substance, the medium between the substances not get heated. The heat is transferred from the source to the substance directly. It is dependent on surface. So the solar heater is the best example of the radiation heating. The rate of heat dissipation through radiation is given by Stefans Law. Now the Stefans Law is expressed in equation 4.1. Now in this equation, K1 is the temperature of source in Kelvin and T2 is the temperature of the substance to be heated in Kelvin, and K is the radiant efficiency. So the K is 1 for single element and K value varies from 0.5 to 0.8 if there are several elements are involved. E is the emissivity factor, which is 1 for black body and 0.9 for resistance heating element. From equation 4.1, the radiant heat is proportional to the difference of fourth power of temperature. So it is very efficient heating at high temperature. So for today, we have discussed about the advantages and the utilization of the electric heating. We also see the advantages of the electric heating, that what are the advantages of the electric heating in comparison to the conventional heating. After this, we have discussed about the mode of transfer of heat, which includes the conduction, convection, and radiation. So please try to read all these topics, and if you feel any confusion, do contact me on your WhatsApp group, and also you can contact me during the lectures hours. We can discuss with each other, and if you have any ambiguity, I will try to resolve this. Thank you very much for the today, and Allah Hafiz.